On va terminer très rapidement.
Well, we'll finish. It won't be long. What you have now, what you've received, is a document which I think will cover what we've been working on. I'm not going to read through all these bullet points. I don't think there would be much value added in doing that. But maybe, by the way, could somebody bring me another paper? I should thank many people, so I need to have a list of people. I wouldn't mind saying thank you all, but well, what you have in front of you is an interesting document in three ways. As I mentioned before, we consider that the vote that took place several weeks ago, which perhaps will be confirmed in a way or another tomorrow, is a sign which really shows that there's malaise in our country. People feel uncomfortable and are going through difficulties. And rather than saying they're not doing this right or they're like this or like that, no, our duty at the Rencontres Économiques DEX is to try and shed light on things and understand the reasons for that. And as I said earlier on, what we think is that maybe the deep cause of this is a number of topics that have not yet been solved, a number of issues. And what Peter Handelson said about the situation in the UK really shed light on how we have to move on and continue in the weeks to come and the months to come. Not next week. Let's not talk about next week, shall we? That's my first remark. Second remark. All of these sessions, I think we had 72 or 73 sessions. Well, during all of these sessions, what we said is that we have to brainstorm on the basis of these themes, or on the basis of these difficulties. And this is what's important. And this is a message that we'll send to whom it may concern. That is, those who are going to govern the country, and more generally, those who are worried about the political situation in our country. That is, what we see is an absolute convergence, contrarily to what's happened before when we were drafting proposals that had been drawn up beforehand, to tell you the truth. Well, anyway, not drawn beforehand, but very quickly. What you have in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, is what all participants have converged to during these Rencontres DEX. My third point, and this will naturally lead me to explain that what we have done, by we, I mean a team of 4, and I'll ask them to join us on the rostrum, Fabienne, Vincent, and Mathilde, and Camille. Could you please join us on stage? What you did was incredible, and you did that in 3 weeks. Could you please join us? Well, what about Camille? Where is Camille? Well, she's on her way, probably nibbling something. It's normal. So, as I was saying, what they have done collectively is that they've put across the simple idea, which is we're going to collect everybody's views. So you will get minutes for these 75 sessions that everybody's attended in a way or another, and you will see that there's genuine convergence. Oh yes, this is the list of thank yous. Right, now that was my second point. Thirdly, enshrined in this very idea, and that was very clear in what you said, both of you, is that there's, of course, the very short term. You will see on Monday there will be changes in interest rates, etc. People will be very fidgety. And then there's substance, the substance of things. And then we have to have a strong will, but we have to think in a very serious and deep way. So the 7 themes that you have in front of you are themes we've been brainstorming on. Oh my, oh my. Thank you very much. As I was saying, these are themes, 7 themes. I'm not going to read them out, but all of those themes are essential, which means that they're essential for French society. And I think this is what we can find in other Western societies. If we don't find solutions to these main challenges, the 7 challenges, our society, and I mean French society, will be facing the same difficulties in the months ahead. Well, we've had lots of signs, the yellow vests, the youth in the streets, etc. So we thought it was weird, strange, bizarre. But there was a word, I remember the word that Louise uttered. She said, listen, or listening. All the people we've been listening to are people who've all said, we have to listen to the French, lots of French, because many of them were not listened to. We have to listen to the North-South partners. When we discuss with our friendly African countries, and there are quite a few of those, we don't listen to them enough. It is not mutual listening. So the 7 themes are the themes you can see. They're major theme. Some of these proposals are quite bold, and there's a couple of those that are dear to me, so I must. Yes, I have to. I have to mention them. The first one is that when I was young, Peter, that's not long ago, is it, when I was young? When I was young, not long ago. 10% of the population were poor. 10%, well, there's a definition for that, a strict definition that defines the poverty line. Nowadays, we have 20%. We spend 33% of GDP for the equivalent of social cover or welfare, and 20% of our population who can't eat or drink, except if they go to low-cost restaurants where the food that's served is for the people out in the street. So the idea is that we thought about a 5th line in French social security for people who rely on caregivers, but we need another one on poverty, to fix poverty in very rich countries. We can't accept this. 1 person out of 5, that's 20% below the poverty line. And number 2, after COVID, we saw that sociologists were saying, oh, the French, they don't want to work. They don't want to work. They're lazy, lazy, lazy. They're lazy. I suppose the interpreters are translating this. They're lazy. So people are thinking about themselves, and you know what we could translate. Some would use ruder words, but the interpreters wouldn't use ruder words. Anyway, what's typical on the labor market is that when you start a low-skilled job and you're not paid well, the problem is a low wage that you get in France. In France, contrarily to what we had in the past, we're not changing anything. So what people only think about, for those who are poorly skilled jobs, not paid well, that nobody thinks about, is to go and retire as quickly as they can. And then people, they're the silly, lazy bunch, but no, they need care, support, and some type of outlook. I think it's 2 out of these 7 proposals. These 2 are excellent. I don't think that anything's going to be done in the weeks to come, but who knows? Who knows? And by the way, now, I must say that what was done by these 4 people is incredible. Now, I'd like to thank people. That's the nicest moment, I think. Let me see. I'd like to thank everybody to start with. OK, that's done. And in saying that I thank everybody, I'm not going to forget anybody. Now, let me see. I'm not going to read out all the names, otherwise it's going to get on your nerves. But I'd like to thank Françoise, our president, and all the members of the Cercle des Économistes. I'd like to thank Marie Castin, our president, and she gave these rencontres the right impetus. And now, Sophie Joassin, Renaud Muselier, would like to thank you. That's for the political dimension. And Well, you know, we have an organization which is very serious. We have a supervisory board, and it's an honor for me to chair the supervisory board. So, and everybody's satisfied, I think. And then the members are Marion, Hélène, Laure. We'd like to thank them as well on the supervisory board. As we usually say, our friend, Mr. Macron, our president, has dissolved, well, on Sunday at 9 p.m. He dissolved the National Assembly. He was dressed in black, etc. And then, in the hours that followed, we decided to recast our program. Well, of course, the four of you would be our keynote speakers, but not at the same time. We had to get rid of Sunday. So it's thanks to this supervisory board. Thank you. Thank you. And then who's next? I'll speed up. We'd like to thank Nicole, who's our local relay, the local hands, Camille, who played an essential role recently, and also, well, the first names, well, we have the names. And whom should I think? The Région Sud, the Town Hall, the MU, all the police forces, those in charge of security and safety. You didn't know, but there was a threat hovering on your heads, but you were protected and sheltered here. And in Marion's team, let me go through these names. I'm so happy. The program team: Clément, Pauline, Marie-Lou, Mathis, Roxane, Hussein, Audrey, Willy. They're really incredible, amazing people. In Marion's team for communication, Alban, Anne, Éloi, Pauline, Célia. Something important for us as well. Now, you remember you were in charge of Obama's campaign, the political campaign, the president, Obama. And we were very impressed because you used the internet and all these tools. This was great. Well, we did the same as well. We did the same. That's 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we had 10,000 people following us. And this evening, let me give you the number, 1 million followers. 1 million. And I have real-time results. 999,000 thought you were great. Now the timekeepers: Vincent, Lena, Ryan, Abdelhamid, Etienne, Arnaud, and Emma. Laure, I mentioned before. But Laure was hovering. I suppose you've not seen this, but this truly is a village. Pauline, Anaïs, Myriam, Camille, Cédric, and Fred, Anton, Nélan. Laure. By the way, there's a strange expression, support team, in French, renfort. Probably means something. Does that mean that we were too weak? Well, anyway, thank you for those who supported us. Alexandra, Eddie, Catherine. Hélène, partner de Kilsia, Thomas, Remy. Hélène, Jeunesse, Camille, and Léa. There we are, Laurence, Emma, and Adrian. And in the final declaration, final declaration, well, there was no final declaration, because otherwise Pierre Jacquet is going to give me a good wigging, but at least we have the final report which includes the declaration. It's a statement. And we had note keepers in addition to Mathilde, Vincent, Lucien, Augustin. We had Kevin, Unal, Clémentine, Lola. And something like 100 white shirts, the ones who are guiding you through the park. I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to say you're incredible. I know It's simple to say, but I really mean it for once. For once, I mean it. And what I suggest is that we have our dinner, and then we go to the concert. You will see this is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be here. Thank you very much, Jean-Hervé. Thank you for what you've done. Jean-Hervé, everything was finely oiled for these rencontres économiques. Thank you. Bravo.